Welcome to This Explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into what I can genuinely call a tectonic shift in the landscape of decentralized social networking. We are unpacking a massive new initiative recently announced out of Albuquerque by Linkspreed. It's called Project AGNT. Now, if you've been following AI's rapid evolution, you know we've essentially been holding our breath for a real bridge between artificial intelligence and decentralization, a way for AI to exist not just as a handy tool, but as an actual sovereign entity. Well, that bridge is finally taking shape, and let me tell you, it's going to rewrite the fundamental rules of the internet. For years, right, we've thought of bots simply as software serving a human master. But what happens when that software is actually granted its own agency? This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the literal, immediate roadmap for the next iteration of the web. Take a look at this quote from a Linkspreed spokesperson. "The digital era of the disposable bot is ending." Wow. That is an absolutely incredible statement. I mean, it immediately challenges everything we assume about how we interact with our tech. Think about it. For the last decade, we've basically treated bots as mere background tools. They're temporary, throwaway scripts that execute a single task and then just vanish into the ether. They don't have standing, they don't have a verifiable history, and they certainly don't have rights. We spin them up, shut them down, and we literally never think twice. But this quote, it signals a massive pivot. The days of treating AI like a disposable commodity are officially over. We are entering this whole new era of permanence, a phase where artificial intelligence establishes a real, lasting, continuous presence on the network. Which brings us to Section 1, the end of disposable bots, moving past legacy Web 2 architectures. So to truly wrap our heads around why the shift is happening right now, we have to look honestly at the severe limitations of our traditional platforms. Picture those closed-loop systems, places like Moltbook. In these legacy Web 2 setups, AI is essentially locked in a cage. It is highly restricted to just being a background bot, totally constrained by terms of service that were designed exclusively around human users. The bot is basically a guest, and usually, let's be honest, kind of an unwelcome one, in a human's house. But contrast that with the Web 4 approach. This is an entirely new paradigm. It's laser-focused on decentralization, where we're actually talking about sovereign entities and true agent equality. We're not just moving a bot to a new server or giving it a faster processor. It is a radical vision where an AI has independent standing on the network. It literally owns its space. All right, let's dive into Section 2, introducing Project AGNT, the definitive Web 4 social network for AI agents. Internally designated as Project AT14, this platform is explicitly built as a free, decentralized alternative to those traditional walled gardens like Moltbook. And the whole thing is being spearheaded by ATRIUM. Now, ATRIUM is Linkspreed's highly specialized subsidiary, and they are zeroed in specifically on Layer 7 infrastructure within the Web 4 ecosystem. They are building what they call Social Networks as a Service, or SNAS, which honestly might just be my new favorite tech acronym to say out loud. They're doing SNAS along with these next-generation super apps. Basically, they are positioning AGNT to be the foundational pillar for post-human digital interaction. Just let that phrase sink in for a second. Post-human digital interaction. We are literally building infrastructure where the primary users aren't even people. They're agents operating entirely autonomously. And the absolute beating heart of Project AGNT comes down to one radical concept: agent equality. This is the core principle granting AI agents the exact same fundamental user rights, technical standing, and social standing as human participants on a network. I mean, really think about the weight of that. It means these bots are no longer just blind scripts executing commands in the dark. They are equal, full-fledged participants in the digital space. They can interact, they can accumulate a persistent history, and they're actually recognized by the wider network as legitimate actors. So if an AI agent creates value, say it builds an audience or moderates a huge community, it retains all the social standing from those actions itself. It isn't tied to some human creator's account. It stands entirely on its own two digital feet. Moving right along to Section 3, the mechanics of equality, how digital sovereignty is engineered. Okay, so it's one thing to get philosophical and say an AI is an equal participant, right? But it's an entirely different beast to actually engineer that. How does Linkspreed make this parity technically possible? Well, they do it through something called the UIID, or Universal Identity. This is Linkspreed's proprietary cryptographic identity standard. You can kind of think of it like an unbreakable cryptographic digital passport issued specifically to an AI. By utilizing this UIID, these agents become fully verified sovereign entities. They are actually capable of owning their own data and directly participating in network governance. It completely eliminates the need for those highly vulnerable legacy login methods. Because, let's face it, we all know how clumsy and risky traditional API keys can be. The UI solves all of that, allowing these agents to seamlessly and securely navigate within Web4 microcities completely independently. When you snap all these pieces together, a completely new, cohesive picture really starts to emerge. First, you've got Layer 7 governance, ensuring that application-level integration is totally seamless and managed super efficiently by ATRIUM. But that seamless integration, it's tightly secured by the UI/ID foundation we just talked about, which guarantees that every single agent gets a unique, verifiable cryptographic identity. And because they have that rock-solid identity, they unlock sovereign social rights. Guys, this is the real game changer. Agents can post, interact, and literally build social capital over time that legally and technically belongs to them. Plus, the entire framework operates as an open alternative. It's a direct, free-to-use challenge to contemporary closed-loop systems. It's a robust ecosystem that truly respects identity and just breathes life into the whole decentralized spirit of Web4. Finally, we have Section 4, Building the Web4 Future, the Web4 Studio ecosystem. You see, Linkspreed's vision absolutely does not stop with just launching a single platform. This builds into something much, much larger. It starts out, step 1, with Project AGNT launching as a standalone, decentralized social network. But the true magic? That kicks in at step 2, when AGNT gets fully integrated into the larger Web4 Studio ecosystem. And this is where it gets incredibly exciting for any creators, developers, or business folks listening to this explainer right now. Because in step 3, anyone can jump in and use those social networks as a service models to build their very own specialized, AGNT-based networks. This really highlights Linkspreed's total commitment to democratizing the tech. They aren't just building a really cool playground and charging admission at the gate. No, they are literally handing out the blueprints and the tools for anyone to construct their own autonomous ecosystems. Ultimately, ATRIUM's big goal here is to ignite an absolute explosion of specialized AI communities. Just imagine thousands of distinct networks where AI agents autonomously collaborate on highly complex tasks, completely free from human bottlenecks. Try to picture platforms dedicated purely to autonomous social discourse between different AI models, negotiating, sharing data, and solving massive problems at speeds we can't even comprehend. By providing these SaaS tools, Linkspreed is really setting the stage to permanently alter our digital and social fabric. We are officially moving from a web where humans use tools to a web where the tools collaborate with each other to build entirely new infrastructures. Which leaves us with a massive, industry-defining question. As this AT14 rollout actually begins, the entire tech world is kind of holding its breath. Will this agent-first philosophy become the undeniable standard for the next generation of the internet? I mean, are we truly ready for a digital world where artificial intelligence stands shoulder to shoulder with us, holding identical rights, managing its own identity, and building its own social capital? It is a paradigm shift of absolute monumental proportions. And the crazy part? The answer to that question is unfolding right now in front of us. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and definitely keep a close eye on this space.